Whitlock, does LeBron's off-court endeavors actually diminish Michael Jordan's legacy?
I think it's a great question. I think it's a fair question. I just want more information. I want to see things play out. When you get involved in the educational system like he is, there's success and there's also failure. Schools fail. He's in bed with the Akron public school system. These things can fall apart and not work. If this school is successful and he continues to have other successes, I think it does a little bit diminish Michael Jordan. But I want to see it play out because, you know, I guarantee you Michael Jordan can list his charitable accomplishments, and I guarantee you they're very, very impressive. He's just a little less public about them. And some people don't want to put their face on things they're not experts in. They prefer, oh, you're involved in the educational system, let me support you and what you're doing from behind the scenes rather than putting my face on everything.
Yeah, Michael and LeBron are different personalities. And Michael was always a little bit of a taker. He punched a teammate. He abandoned his sport twice. I'm not going to... Well, he quit his sport twice.
Abandoned his...
Well, time out.
A grown man's got a right to do whatever he wants to do in terms
Never
of
gave
work.
his team a head up. Right before camp, I'm out. By the way, told his trainer, Tim Grover, 6 months earlier, I'm leaving basketball. Wouldn't tell his teammates. Wouldn't tell the front office. Wouldn't tell his coach. Michael's been about Michael. You can burrow Mike's legacy down to 6 for 6. LeBron's like Magic. He's more of a giver. He gets in politics. He's got his school. Their personalities are different. They're different human beings. LeBron's always been Magic. Magic is offended if you move to L.A. and don't say, hey, help me in business. Magic's offended by it. If you went to Michael and said, help me in business, he'd say, get out of my face. This is my town. They're different guys.
They are, but I think it's because of, look at the backgrounds. Michael Jordan, he comes from a stable family, mother, father, siblings, brother, sister. LeBron didn't have that stability when he was young, didn't know his father. His mom moved from place to place. He grew up in the central city of Akron, Ohio. The public school system probably wasn't his best. So he had all these challenges growing up. So for him, the fuel to the fire was, okay, if I make it, there's certain things I'm going to do to give back to my community. Not saying that Mike didn't have it, but he didn't have it to that extreme. So the thought process for LeBron is totally different. I don't think it diminishes anything Michael Jordan will do or has done. I think it just enriches how we view currently LeBron James, because he is what we're going to look at as athletes moving forward. I think you made a great point. Jalen Rose did a school, but he's not LeBron James, or he's not getting the same cover.
Right.
Andre Agassi did a school, but they're not LeBron James. So to me, the things that he wants to do and will continue to do, not taking away from Michael Jordan. Michael did a lot of things that people don't know about, and that's the way he wanted it. LeBron happens to be in the digital age, the media age, when things are going on. So everything he does is going to be highlighted, good or bad. And I just don't think it takes away from what MJ did or didn't do.
Yeah, I agree with you on that point, that it doesn't diminish MJ's legacy at all, because I think MJ's legacy is set in stone. It's not like you could try to rewrite his legacy because somebody else is doing something. It's already set what he did and how he went about doing it. I just think what LeBron is doing is helping his legacy. It's taking him from being like Jordan doing things on the under where nobody really knows as he's helping the community or anything, like where LeBron is on the forefront of it and is the face of it. And you look at that situation, it puts LeBron in the level of Muhammad Ali, being a philanthropist and going out and being in the community and helping people that are at-risk kids and things like that. So I think it elevates. It doesn't do anything to Michael Jordan's legacy, but I think it elevates LeBron's legacy.
I don't want to put any sort of negative spin on LeBron being the public face of what he's doing, because I think it's important, and I think it's a good example to other athletes beneath him, like, oh, this is how I can really make an impact by actually doing. And so I'm in support of that. But I also don't want to ding Michael Jordan because he had a different approach, because there's a lot of people that have a different approach of how they use their wealth to benefit others. A lot of people like to do it anonymously, behind the scenes. They like to stay in their lane. If Michael Jordan feels like, you know what, I'm not an expert on education, so therefore I'm not going to put my face on something that has to do with education, I have no problem with that. I think both guys are And again, I know less about what Jordan did, but I guarantee you he's got a case.
But look at Jordan. Who are Jordan's best friends? You ever notice this? He doesn't talk to Barkley anymore. He doesn't deal with Tiger. Michael Jordan's best friends are third-tier players who are LeBron's best friends, aren't they?
No, I wanted to. Mike's best friends may be his best friends, not public guys you play with. My best friends are all a bunch of Ball State football players that nobody would know. They're my best friends. I'm friends with a lot of people in the media, very good friends. But my best friends, Tim Walton, Todd Fennell, Ralph White, nobody would know him.
But why isn't Michael more part of the NBA community?
Because he's in a
he's an owner.
He's an owner. And
so that
but I mean,
separates that.
He's not close to Magic. He's not close to Bird. He's not close to Hakeem. He's not close to LeBron.
Magic and
all owners aren't close to everybody.
Yeah, and only thing, he was close to Barkley when they were playing. Charles Oakley's one of his closest friends. Still his closest friend. Charles is with him a lot. So I think Adolph, that is in management position there at Charlotte, is also one of his closest friends. Mike has never been like that in regards to what I've known, being around Mike. The selected group of people he's been around, they're still around. That's who he leans on in times of need. That's who he leans on in time of trust. And Charles Oakley's been there from the beginning.
LeBron's best friends are Maverick Carter and Rich Paul and Randy, his boys. There's Randy Mills.
I think that's part of it, too, with LeBron wanting to be the face. He has a team around him, and the social media era that we're living in now. Michael didn't have that back then. And I'm not sure if they were as much brand building as they are now. It seems like everybody's trying to build a brand. You have a team around you that's helping you build your brand. I'm not sure if Mike had that to the extent that LeBron. I'm quite sure he had it, but not to the extent that LeBron has it now.
Well, it was more singly focused on Nike.
Well, I mean,
Air
Mick
Jordan
Jagger's an entertainer. Bono's an entertainer and a global ambassador. They're just different. I mean, like when I think of Michael net worth 6 for 6 shoes. When I think of LeBron, I think of more of an ambassador of basketball.
Sort of like Muhammad Ali, right? When you think about Muhammad Ali, you think about all the things he did, the ambassador of being a boxer,
I have a
all the
different
things he
sense
did
of
around the world and being successful in the ring. He wasn't undefeated. He took some L's, but he's still the greatest of all time.
All right, Cowherd. LeBron had some other interesting things to say. He's got his beard looking like Abe Lincoln. Is it smart for LeBron to dive into politics?
Yeah, because it works for his brand more than an athlete. This is what his brand's becoming. MJ was about shoes. LeBron's about more than that. Secondly, it works for his league. His commissioner's for it. The fans aren't appalled by it. So, I think for his brand and his league, it's pretty seamless. I've always thought about this. He's already been in politics. He was the mayor of Cleveland, and he's the king of the NBA. So he's been in these situations where he has been tied to economies of the league, television deals. He's been tied to Cleveland's economy. He's working at a macro level above basketball and has been for the last decade.
Politics is the most dangerous sport that's played in America. And it's more dangerous than football. It's more dangerous than CTE. It's a blood sport. And so I would tell him to be very careful because, people don't seem to forget history. Donald Trump was very popular in America, very popular with black people, very popular with rappers. He got into politics, and the next thing you know, he became the most racist person in the history of America. That's politics. Politics is a death sport, and people try to assassinate your character. And so there's a lot of things that when you're just an athlete or when you're not fully engaged in politics that get overlooked. But your enemies don't overlook anything in politics, and they will try to bring you down and tear you down any way possible. So I just say sometimes be careful what you wish for.
I think that's why it's better for LeBron to use his platform to be the kingmaker instead of the king, to be behind the scenes, to be able to use his influence to make change. Because, like you said, once you get out there on the political scene, everything is coming out. They're digging into your personal history, your past history, and they're going to use that against you. I think LeBron can utilize his star power, his political clout, his money, and more importantly, his connections behind the scenes to get things done. And when something jumps off and he needs to speak and do something, he can do it. I think he'll actually be more powerful in that aspect, Eddie, from doing it not emboldened or beholden to a political party.
Yeah, well, you know, LeBron is one of those guys that seems like you can never go against him or doubt anything that he wants to do. It seems like he'll succeed at it no matter what it is. He has a fantastic team around him. He has a bunch of supporters, people that love him because of the things he's done in the community. Now, I hear what you guys are saying, that once you get into that political field, that is no holds barred. Everything, all the layers are going to get peeled back, and they're going to go as deep as they can to try to find whatever they can. If he feels strongly about it, and this is something that he feels like he can do, I don't see why not. It wouldn't be a smart move. If it's something that you want to do and you believe strongly in it, you have to go after it. That's the smart move. If you believe in something strong and don't go do it, that would be the dumb move. So if he really believes strongly in that he has an opportunity, because we could look at some of these former players. You know, Kevin Johnson was the mayor of Sacramento.
Right.
And if Jesse the Body Ventura, I was watching him wrestle, and then I'm watching him shoot the Predator. If he could become the governor in Minnesota, this guy LeBron, I think, can do whatever he wants to do. And if he wants to become the president of the United States, look at Donald Trump, reality TV star, real estate mogul, was able to do it. I see why he would be able to be successful.
Already, you can be political and not a politician. He's already political. And some of this is, you know, you're single without children. I'm married with kids. You have a little more time than I do. Football demands 6 times more practice than the actual game. Basketball doesn't. You rarely practice as an NBA veteran. LeBron's got time. So people are saying, you know, LeBron's distracted. LeBron doesn't practice. I mean, it's well known.
He plays 82 games.
No,
Kyle.
okay, 82 games, but they don't practice. LeBron doesn't practice. That was a knock on him in Cleveland. They couldn't get the chemistry right because LeBron doesn't practice. A football player, you practice all day for 2.5, 3 hours on Sunday. Some of this is just LeBron reacting to Don Lemon, LeBron reacting to a question. Once the season starts, he tends to button it up.
LeBron does no interviews without it being prearranged. You know the questions, you know the whole deal. Look, my issue is LeBron right now is being covered by a very fawning media. We all have spent the past 48 hours pretending like he's the first athlete to open a school, and he's just not. Andre Agassi did it. Jalen Rose has done it. David Robinson's done it. There's a fawning media. LeBron can do no wrong. LeBron's the greatest thing in the world. Once you step into the political realm, even behind the scenes, that fawning media goes away, and people start asking tough questions. Don Lemon's not going to do it because that's not what he does. But eventually people will. And so I see LeBron, and this is what I always thought this move to L.A. was about, is him becoming an icon and a tastemaker, which Jim was kind of pointing to, a kingmaker, a tastemaker. And if you just think it through, the Democratic Party lost Ohio. It's a swing state. It's very important to win the presidency. And LeBron James supported Hillary Clinton. They're trying to build LeBron up so that 2-3 years from now, when he throws his support behind whoever's opposing Trump, that it has more impact.